Hey Clash, is the first time ever we have an event troop which is not dedicated for Clan War or for example to Legend League, but instead to maximize your farming. And I know a lot of people are struggling right now to use it. I will give you a couple of examples how you can maximize the value out of this event troop. On top of that, Tsubasa has thought, well, let's just add a nice event around it, and that is going to be who is going to farm the most in the world between June 10th and July 1st. And there's always going to be an in-game ranking displaying who's actually having the most farm. By the way, since I have seen many already complain that there is no ranking, and I thought the same first, if you have, by whatever chance, the language are not English, for example, if I switch to my original language, my mother language, German, there is nothing in-game. Like, they're really bad with translating stuff to different languages. So if you want to see the ranking, you have to put your in-game language to English. It is annoying. We have given this feedback many times, but they're apparently not listening. But okay, back to the event, because they have, as I said, announced that the top 50 looters in the world during that time frame are going to get a special prize, which is 300 Starry ore for the entire top 50. And one thing as well, which I want to say right now, I think like half the accounts which are right now on this list are getting banned because Supercell is super strict when you're thinking about pushing that high, that your account needs to be clean, like super clean. We had this type of event already during the Gold Rush event, which was the clan event, and there were many clans getting banned because only one of their accounts were like, I don't know, did anything shady at some point in history. So yeah, they're going to be super strict about this. So make sure that if you're attempting this, that your account is really clean. And as I said, my speculation, just speculation right now, is like half of the accounts which are right now in the top 50 are going to be banned. At least half of them. I'm pretty confident about that. And I guess that's just one a nice way of filtering out like people who are using bots and such thing. But whatever, that's a different topic. But as I said earlier, I've seen plenty of people struggling to use the new debt collector. So I thought I would just share with you my approach because I've seen the post from Burak, this one right here, where he has collected 4 million gold and elixir, which is crazy because that is in just one attack. And I don't know if you have seen any higher numbers, but that to me is like one of the all-time records when it comes down to loot. So I thought I want to come up with a strategy which can pretty much take down any base and at the same time is maximizing the loot with the debt collector. Because you can't use it really in the same way as sneaky goblins because they're having a lot of housing space, they're not being that tanky. I will admit, as a farming troop, I would have wished for that they're having at least half the housing space or maybe another option, just being more tanky. I mean, it's a farming troop. Just go crazy. We have seen during the WWE way more broken troops as an event troop. And as a farming troop, you can still get a lot of value from them, but I would have just liked to see that they're easier to use. Because right now you need to set them up. And a perfect mix is between Hog Riders and as well the Royal Champ with the Warden, clearing everything, and then you can collect everything with the Goblins. This one might now sound crazy, but I will give you a couple of examples of how you can really utilize that, even with this proper layout. So let's jump into it. And even though this base is not max, but hey, that's how the reality is, right? Below Legends, people are not having always the clan cast and always the heroes up and such. So it's still a proper layout otherwise. So what are the objectives here? Typically, because I'm attacking tunnel 16 or tunnel 15s most of the time, I have a Yeti blimp in there with a clone just to be super safe. The tunnel is going to go down, and my Hawk Riders don't need to worry about the town hall. You can play that blimp during the attack, or if the tunnel is kind of isolated and on the far outside, you can just start things off with that. That's why we have the 2 Testoons in there. Otherwise, just spam out of the Hawk Riders in, use the Warden ability whenever, and then just use the Goblins behind. A couple of explanation points of why I choose certain equipments or pets, and why I pretty much never use those 2 heroes, the King and Queen, because they are attacking anything. And I want to have this army built around troops and heroes which only attack defenses. This is the critical part here, because we want to really make sure that all of the defenses are getting cleared out, so the debt collector can collect all of the resources, right? That's the entire point of this. Obviously, you can try to combine this as well with things like Dragon Riders, loons, for example, but those troops are having like death damage, which means if a Dragon Rider goes down or a loon, they're going to drop down and they could damage things like storages inside the base, which is not what you want to have because you want to make sure that you're maximizing the value of the depth collector. And with that, even though this was like a 2 million or something of both attack when it comes into the resources, we can push this to over 3 million of each because of the depth collector. As soon as buildings are taken care of on the outside, we're just putting the goblins behind, and that will just do the entire job. Now you might wonder, it's why those equipments? Why not the electro boots? They're broken. Yes, if you're looking for more power, the electro boots are better. But again, remember, the aura of the electro boots is damaging everything. And we want to maximize those resources. This is what this strategy is all about, right? And this is why I'm going with the 2 common equipments, which is the Haste Vial and the Hot Rodder Puppet. If you don't have those both upgraded, that's completely fine. You can as well go with the electro boots. But again, like this approach is all about maximizing. Next one is maybe with the pets. Lizard is attacking most of the time anything as well and could go for storages. But you kind of have to go for a little power as well. And back-end heroes can really mess things up versus Hawk Riders. So that's another thing why I prefer the Lizard. But you could go with the Diggy as well. Another thing as well is that, well, you can go as well with the life gem, with the healing tome, by the way, if you're having the apprentice warden right behind. That works as well. I just, on this account, have the life gem upgraded, so I just use it, and that's pretty much it. I surrendered the attack because I don't want to gain too many trophies, but now you might wonder, iTzu, that was maybe like just a lucky attack, right? Let's just do it again. And obviously, some bases are looking like this. Those type of bases are super easy with Sneaky Goblins. And before people are saying that in the comments, yes, obviously Sneaky Goblin attacks are way easier. I mean, no question about it. Sneaky Goblin attacks are like you can turn your brain off and just farm. Like, that's how it is, right? But to me, I just enjoy those type of attacks way more personally because you have to do actually something. And you have to actually as well, like, play the game a little bit. And especially versus bases like this, you can maximize the loot like crazy. Especially those dead bases where you have all of the loot around, or like on this case, everything stacked in like one area of the base. If you get this area of the base free, oh my gosh. I mean, the loot potential is crazy with this depth collector. But before people are going crazy, as I said, the Sneaky Goblins are just easier. I would have liked to see as well that the depth collector is just, as I mentioned earlier, a little bit stronger. I would have liked to see half the housing space, or for example, more hit points. You could have as well given them the invisibility, which I would have not liked that much, because they still should feel different to Sneaky Goblins. So just more housing, just less housing space or more hit points. One of those would have been better. But on this one, I mean, you see how perfect it works between the synergy of Hawk Riders and as well the Royal Champion and then the Depth Collectors, because they all attack different things. And with that, you can collect so many resources. It's just such a great synergy. And I want to hear now from you guys. Have you come up with a really good approach how to utilize the Depth Collector? This is, as I said, the best one how to use it for me personally. I had quite a few of those over 3 million attacks. Those two, which I just showed you, were the best. And especially dead bases are just super easy and simple to approach. You can always send in the Hawk Riders in front of the collectors, and they will just collect the outside collectors or the outside mines and everything. You get so much resources. It's insane. And it's a lot of fun as well to me. I don't know. But I can totally understand where people who are saying, hey, farming is just me chilling on the couch, watching a movie or something. I just want to not really concentrate whatsoever. So yes, I can fully understand if you feel like the Sneaky Goblins are just easier. Because I don't think that they're better in that way. Because I have shown you like plenty of times now that you can use them if you set them up. It's obviously a little bit different, but I want to hear as well what your record so far is. Like, what was your loot record so far? Were you able to beat it? Were you able to beat the 4 million of both, like what Burak has posted? Or what is your loot record looking like? I would love to know that. And let me know as well if any of you guys is crazy enough to compete in the top 50 loot event from Supercell, like the one listed in game. I would really like to know if any of those guys is like someone who's like active within the YouTube community. Obviously, I assume if you're watching my videos, you're watching many other creators as well. So I would love to know if you're like somewhere close to this crazy. I mean, in 2 days, they were able to like, how do you even pronounce the number at that stage? It's like so many zeros and like, that is insane. That is just so crazy. I mean, they would need to increase the size of the loot collected area, because this is now 2 days and people have. I'm always clicking next to it, so it's always closing. I'm sorry. So they have like, how many days is it? Like, is it 2 weeks or something? Yeah, roughly 2 weeks. But I mean, this was now in 2 days. What is possible in like a little more than 2 weeks? That's going to be crazy. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I will put the link down below in the description. But again, you need to obviously adjust this a little bit depending on your town level. It works great for me. Give it a try. And otherwise, thank you so much for watching for the video. I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next class one. We're going to check out the final ranks of our Clan War League season. And until then, see ya and bye bye.